للنادي السعودي في مختلف المناسبات، وكذلك مساعدة الطلاب والطالبات في جميع شؤونهم الدراسية. وبهذه المناسبة يسر الرئيس التنفيذي لمعهد الوطني للتكنولوجيا مارك فلورز بأن يلقي كلمته، فليتفضل مشكورا.
Please welcome the Chief Executive of the Waikato Institute of Technology, Mark Flores.
Well, good evening. It's a real pleasure to be here this evening on this special national day. Yes, 81 years since, as I understand it, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia was formed, and that's a wonderful achievement. And when you visit the country, as I have just once so far, and see what's been accomplished in that time, it's a wonderful thing. I'd like to bring special greetings from Wintec and the Wintec staff, and as has already been said, from the university and the other education institutions in Hamilton. We're very privileged indeed, Ambassador, and those of you from the Cultural Mission. It's a delight to have you in Hamilton this evening, and I feel very privileged to be here with you tonight. And the speakers have already touched on the importance of the relationship between Saudi Arabia and New Zealand. There's no doubt that this is strengthening generally, not just in the area of education. We're seeing, I'm sure, the emergence of a country, Saudi Arabia, as one of the economic powerhouses of the future. We all know that Riyadh is a developing city and has very ambitious plans for its development to become very much a centre in the Middle East. And I think it's a privilege for us in New Zealand to be part of that in a small way. And the small way, from my point of view, is that, yes, we are training and educating students from Saudi Arabia. They come here, they bring a value to our country, they bring a value to our institutions, and they bring a value to this city, actually. And I'll come back to that in a moment. And of course they bring an economic value. Let's be honest about it. This is a lot of money being spent in New Zealand by the government of Saudi Arabia and by the students. And that amounts to a lot of money for this country and for this city. But I think there's an economic return too for Saudi Arabia, because I believe these students are going back to the country, back to Saudi Arabia with a wide range of skills and knowledge that they can contribute to the growing economy of Saudi. The construction industry alone in Riyadh must be benefiting from the expertise, the vocational education and training that's being achieved in New Zealand generally and in Hamilton in particular. So I think it's a two-way benefit. And I'm fervent, some of you know I'm a great fervent supporter of internationalisation and international education. But it only works if it is a two-way street, if there's learning occurring in both directions, both parties feel that they're benefiting equally from that. We have students from all over the world in Hamilton, at the university and the Wintec and the schools in this area, many countries. In fact, this is one of the education centres of New Zealand, although it's often not understood to be that. We have a very similar ratio of international students and students generally, as say Dunedin and Palmerston North. But whether people in Hamilton quite realise yet, this is a student city, it's an education centre, and it's a centre for international education, I'm not sure. So I'm just making the point tonight that is the case, and indeed the relationship with Saudi Arabia and the enormous number of students that come to Hamilton and New Zealand through the scholarship is a very important part of that. The other thing I think is really important is that, you know, we are living in a global world, aren't we? You know, we can't separate our cultures and our economies from each other. We all understand that, and yet we're faced with the challenges of better international understanding and indeed world peace. And I think education and education institutions have a key role to play in helping educate the world about tolerance and understanding between cultures religions and different economic structures and theories. So I think it's important we focus on that too, that this is a national day, and it's a wonderful day to be celebrating, but it's also a day when we should be also celebrating international cooperation and understanding. The university and Wintec do provide really good services, I believe, to students from Saudi Arabia. But it's true to say that it's been a challenge for us at times. Multiculturalism and different ways of looking at the world do present a challenge to any education institution. We have to learn and understand new ways of doing things and be tolerant of different ways of looking at the world. And that's been a real lesson, I have to say, for Wintec. I think it's added a huge value to us as we work through some of these challenges and issues with the students, and I think we're the better for it. Now when I go into our student centre, I can see students from all over the world, of course many from China and Asia, and also of course from the Middle East. And that's a commitment we've made. So much so that of course some of you may be aware that Wintec is also now, to all intents and purposes, providing programs in southern Saudi Arabia, Bisha, Jazan, where we're participating in the Saudi Electrical Services Polytechnic. We're a part operator now of that facility. Wintec has also put a bid in to become an operator for one of the numerous colleges of excellence that Saudi Arabia is establishing over the next years. And that's a proposal that's currently under consideration. And we're very excited by the opportunity that might give us to become one of New Zealand's institutions operating outside New Zealand in another country. And this is part of New Zealand's government policy. Education is an export industry for New Zealand, and it's very clear from the Minister that he wants to see that grow. And in fact, those of you in the trade of education may have had the chance to have a quick look at the draft tertiary education strategy, and in that you of course see that there's continual reinforcement of the importance of growing tertiary education in onshore and offshore as an export industry for New Zealand. So, as I said when I started, I do feel very privileged to be here tonight. It's a special day and it all sounds a bit serious, but I'm sure it's also really meant to be a celebration of the history of Saudi Arabia, its culture, and its presence in the world, and no doubt the future and the aspirations for the future. And I hope our students can be some small part of that development of Saudi Arabia in the Middle East. Thank you very much.